I've watched Israel erode since that time. When I took my wife there in 1995, because I used to travel there a lot. So I said, hey, why don't you come there for a long weekend? Let me show you Israel. She fell in love with it, me. The Israeli people are wonderful people. Wonderful people. Everybody's wonderful. God, I haven't met bad people yet. I mean, I have met bad people, but I can't paint certain people. Young, vibrant, full of life, energetic, beautiful, friendly. Man, Israel was great. And my wife's religious. Like I said, I'm not too religious, but to walk in the land of Jesus, to walk in the land of Moses, to go to the River Jordan, to see where Jesus was baptized, to do the Via Dolorosa, where Jesus walked with the cross, to see all these things. For her, it was deeply moving, deeply moving. For me, I'm a historian, and to see the places of the Bible, because I view the Bible as, as history. So I'm looking at it all, deeply moving, to see the Al-Aqsa Mosque and realize it's the third holiest shrine for the Islamic religion, to see the Wailing Wall, to realize it's the remnant of the Jewish temple. All this stuff just resonates, and you just sit there and go, my God, what a wonderful place. My Israeli host said, kick a rock, and you uncover centuries of history. And it's just, whoa, man. We went back in 2009, totally different country. They have a wall. When they talk about apartheid Israel, it's apartheid Israel. They built a wall to separate them from the Palestinians. They treat the Palestinians as second-class citizens. The fear that existed in Israel, totally different country. These people weren't attractive to me anymore because they were hate-filled. They were feared. That was Benjamin Netanyahu. He did that to Israel. He ruined Israel. He destroyed Israel. And so now I take a look at what's happening here. And again, I'm not somebody who was a Palestinian activist. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not somebody who got on the boat to go to Gaza and all that stuff. I was doing other stuff. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it wasn't on my radar. But then when this conflict happens, it's sort of a wake-up call. And you're going, whoa, how did this happen? Why did this happen? And once you start asking that question, you realize that it was inevitable it was going to happen, because you can't treat a people the way the Palestinian people have been treated by Israel. This isn't the Israel of Yitzhak Rabin. This isn't an Israel that's looking for a Palestinian state or a Palestinian solution. This is an Israel governed by a Likud party whose basic tenet, you know how they criticize AOC and Tlaib, the representative from Michigan, from the river to the sea. Well, Hamas came into being in the 1990s, maybe the late 1980s. The Likud party came into being in the 1950s. Their original mantra, their charter, is from the river to the sea. It meaning there will be no Arabs. They invented it. And they're in power right now in Israel. And these are horrible people. They don't believe in Israel as defined by international law of the United Nations. They believe in Eretz Israel, the biblical Eretz Israel, and they want to take it all over. That means Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Egypt, Saudi Arabia. That's what they want. That's their vision. If the Bible says Moses walked on it, they own it. And they're occupying land that was stolen from Palestinian people. And then they take the survivors of the crimes, the murders that took place, the ethnic cleansing and genocide, and stuff them into open air concentration camps like Gaza. And then you wonder why the Palestinians rise up and revolt. I mean, I'll probably get in a lot of trouble for saying this right now, but my sympathies are with Hamas, not with Israel. I used to be Team Israel. I was on Team Israel. I was there. I helped stop missiles fall against Israel. I worked with Israel for 4 years to create the opportunity for peace. And I believed in Israel's right to exist. And I still believe in Israel's right to exist, but not the way they define it now. There must be a Palestinian state. The Palestinian people have every bit the same right to live the way the Israelis live, on land that belongs to them with no Israeli control. But you can't have that if you have an Israeli government that says the Palestinians shouldn't exist at all. And here's the most important part: have a Palestinian Authority. Mahmoud Abbas is the president from the Palestinian Liberation Organization, and his military wing, Fatah, who have surrendered to the Israelis. These are people who've taken billions of dollars of aid, and they've built giant villas for themselves, and they travel first class around the world, and they live the high life, and their sole job is to prevent security problems for Israel. Now, you're a Palestinian, and you sit there and you say, Who's doing anything to help me get my homeland? You realize that the president of Palestine isn't. He's doing the exact opposite. He's working with the Israelis to guarantee there will never be a Palestinian homeland, which for him is okay because he needs that uncertainty to generate more money to enrich himself, stealing from the Palestinians, from the refugees who are still in their refugee camps. Only one governing body, one governing party has stood up for the Palestinian people, and that's Hamas. The Palestinian people need a champion. And that's the only person that's the only entity that stood up so far to champion them. I don't condone terrorism. I don't condone the slaughter of civilians. But, you know, when you're an occupied people and you've been subjected to the brutality of the Israeli occupation, and ladies and gentlemen, it's brutal. It's brutal, and it has been for some time now. You have a right to rise up. You have a right to assert your God-given right to be a human being on a land that belongs to you and belongs to your people. So you reap what you sow. Israel has sown the whirlwind or sown the wind. They're going to reap the whirlwind.